we were playing at Elkins. I think it was 87, gosh, 2 years. And they were having this, we were up at halftime and we were coming through. And for some reason, I have no idea. They had the homecoming court out there. Okay, they thought they were going to roll all over us and everything. They had to win the game, but they were out there running there, and the homecoming people start yelling all kinds of crazy stuff at us and everything. And there's the good old Greg Stoniker, man. Greg is a heck of a linebacker, man.
Yeah.
He comes through. We're headed to the locker room, and someone they yell something, and he just mowed him down. It happened homecoming court just mowed down him, Scotty Ferris, and we just rolled. So after we came out of the locker room, there's all these police lined up to come back, and them all roped off. They came in the locker, hey, who's the one that hit the homecoming, king in the nose?
Hey, welcome back to the Colts Corral. I'm your host, Brian Bibey, and today we've got a very special guest, a lifelong friend of mine, Steve Redd, class of 1989, and one of the greatest players to ever wear the Colts jersey, and a Philip Barbour Hall of Fame member. Steve went on to play Division I football for the West Virginia Mountaineers. We're going to talk about his playing days at Philip Barbour, his recruiting journey, his college career, and what it meant to represent, his home state. Plus, we're going to get his thoughts on Coach Mayle's program and the advice for the Colts as they prepare for this semifinal showdown versus Bluefield. Hey, Steve, first of all, brother, great to see you, man. It's been a while.
Been a long time, man. It's been a while. Great to see you too, man.
I think you and I both. I think you and I both got a little more white since we've seen each other.
A whole lot, man. Yeah. I'm used to hearing your voice all the time. You and Jeff calling the games. Thank God for the live stream. Way down here in Atlanta, we got to reach it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. So we always try to give you a shout out every once in a while, man. So thank you for doing this, certainly, and I appreciate you as always, man. I love you to death. You know that. So, hey, let's open this up, man. I want to talk about your high school career.
Okay.
What was it like for you playing football for Philip Barbour back in the late '80s?
Man, it was a fun time, and the program we started, going through transition there, and it was all excitement. We started at, freshman we only won one game, then the sophomores won two, then it was four as a junior. And when I look back, I remember we should have been 7-3 that year and 8-2 that year. So it was a heck of a time. But when I remember back, we had a lot of fun out there. And Coach Hicks played defense. I was mostly I played fullback, played defense, but it was fun, really fun. If you remember Ronnie Johnson, is one of the best running back. He's fantastic with the Mustangs and with the Pop Horner, one of the all-time greats. And let me tell you something, Ronnie Johnson. I played against NFL, type running backs and guys played in the league. He could have played Division I ball. He was that good. And it was great to block for him and unleash him, man. Yeah.
Steve, I've said that all along. Ronnie Johnson is one of the best pure athletes to ever come through Philip Barbour.
All around. I mean, basketball.
All around.
Yeah. All time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Explosiveness. Just the explosiveness, out of the backfield. When you line up in college, these guys are so much faster, and that explosion, any talk about NFL or college football, that explosion, that first 2-3 steps that running back takes, especially from a dead stop, that lateral jump, just like that Barry Sanders style. I mean, Ronnie was quick like that. I mean, he's fantastic.
Yeah, 100%, man. He was unreal, and it was always fun to watch you blocking for him, certainly. But you played with some good dudes, man. I mean, you guys, like you said, there were some really good football players back there in the late '80s.
Absolutely. Even the older guys.
Give me one of your favorite memories, man. Give me one of your favorite memories from your time playing football. As a Colt.
You mean on the field or off the field? Well,
either or. I love to hear both.
We had a lot of fun out there. It's funny. We didn't have much to work with. The field was old, the track was old, and we do 2-a-days out there and have all kinds of fun. And from when my brother was out there, he was older, Dave Unger, those guys. And it was a really fun time. We used to, when we got there, you can't do it now, but like freshmen, we come out there in the freshman and separate locker room, and you'd all dump them in the mud. They have to pay their dues because used to be those big mud puddles out there and everything, had to roll the mud and everything. So they're always good kids. I think that's when, especially Hicks took over that freshman team. Hell, I think that was JJ and those guys. I think they won just about every game. So
I think it was Steve. Yeah, it was. That
because
was
that was the 91 team, wasn't it? Yeah, it was so good.
that'd have been Curtis's and Josh's and Bobby Clifton and those guys. Yeah,
And they made it to Brook up there, right? So I
that
remember, yeah, went up there with see Hicks and everything. Yeah, yeah, it was fun.
You and I took the van with Greg Mauser and Mike Cheveco and some others.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was fun. That's probably fun. We can't family friendly fun. We can't, you can't miss
No,
that.
we can't talk about that, but it was a good trip.
Heck of a trip,
Those are
man.
memories.
So
Those
great.
are memories.
Yeah.
Man, those were some good times. I would love to hear one of your funniest stories or funniest memories of your time playing football as a football recorder. As I told you, I always ask the guys, the players, when I'm interviewing them, hey, give me a good story. Give me your funniest one when you were playing high school, man. It could be on the field, off the field.
We were playing at Elkins. I think it was 80, 80. Nah, gosh, 2 years. I was a sophomore, so it was been about 87, and they were having this. We were up at halftime, and we were coming through, and for some reason, I have no idea. They had the homecoming court out there as a homecoming. They thought they were going to roll all over us and everything. I think they ended up winning the game, but they were out there. We're running there. The homecoming people start yelling all kinds of crazy stuff at us and everything. And there's good old Greg Stoniker, man. Greg is a heck of a linebacker, man.
Yes, he was.
So he comes through. We're headed to the locker room. And someone they yell something, and he just mowed him down. Bah, 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 bah. And half the homecoming court just mowed down, and him, Scotty Ferris, and we just rolled it. So after we came out of the locker room, there's all these police lined up to come back. They had them all roped off and everything. And they came in like, hey, who's the one that hit the homecoming, king in the nose, laid out or something? Man, and then, after the game, they chased the bus. Everybody's, hey, they want to, and I think my brother threw a candy bar out and hit somebody in the forehead with a candy bar, but it's Paul.
I do. I love it. I tell you, man, those are some great games. I certainly didn't play, but I was always there cheering you guys on and watching. And I'll never forget, and you'll probably remember when this happened. I saw Eric Teets when he was playing free safety for you guys. He hit a guy from Elkins so hard it blew his face mask off his helmet. That's the only
Teets. Yeah.
You remember that.
Me and Teets is funny because he lined up free safety. We'd be practicing, It kind of reminds me of West Virginia because the ones and ones played, and he had scout team guys. Because Teets always played defense. Because he did play, the first 3 years, always a basketball guy and everything, and then he got out of sports. And he's another guy that could play Division I. He's a good athlete and smart guy. I don't know about maybe free safety, probably tight end, but Teets is a good athlete. Man.
Yes, he was.
We always had battles. I come out of the backfield. See, he'd act like he was going to hit me up high, and he knew how to cut me real hard.
Yeah. Hey, there's a lot of people I've talked to said they always went low on Steve. I mean, that's just how you did it, So if you were smart, you went low.
Teets had guts though. He come flying up and he put his face mask right in the ear hole. So he's a tough guy. He's tough, man.
There was some great athletes, man, that we went to school with. There really was.
Oh yeah, tremendous athletes. Yeah.
Times are different now, right? I mean, you got guys that focus solely on certain sports, but back then we all played everything together, and it was so much fun, man. We grew as a family, as friends, and so much fun. And I know there's again, you and I talked before we got on here. The stories about you and McCauley and Stoniker are legendary.
Old Ace. Ace McCauley, little Todd Stoniker. Yeah, we had some great times, man.
Those are classic. We'll leave those between us and friends. So,
changed so much, we'd probably be in jail for 95% of the stuff we did.
Hey, don't you agree, Steve? I'm so glad they didn't have cell phones back in the day when we were growing up.
Absolutely. It's a catch-22. Like, hey, it'd have been fun to remember to capture some of the stuff. I think even today, a lot of kids, instead of taking in the moment and enjoying it, we enjoyed the times, like from basketball when we traveled, football, and all the things. Instead of just taking in the reality of the situation and enjoying friends right there, everybody's, these days taking Snapchats and posting. They take picture of everything they eat and every place they go. It's, it was
Oh,
more conversational, one on one. We spent time talking to each other.
you
So,
did. You really got to know people. You really did. You spend every weekend with them, every night. We were always doing something together, and
no,
that made those friendships pretty strong. I know it's not football related, but that time that you and I were sitting on the bench up there at University and Cheveco squirted the referee with the water bottle.
hey, that was classic. I think that year we lead the state in technicals.
Yes, we
I think
did.
Brenda came in there. Hey, you guys are just you said to do. You guys are this ridiculous. You got to, you lead the state in technicals. Hey, at least we're going to be famous for something. That's what.
Yeah, see, I'll never forget that home game. You took that ball right in the middle of the court, slammed it down on the center of the court. The thing hit the ceiling up there at the old gym. Remember that? I used to, whoop, there's another
Well,
one.
we're getting robbed. Some of those guys just intentionally did that. What's his name, Hushin, and some of those old guys. They used to just ring us up, man. They just give us
They,
fouls and stuff. Hey, I don't
they,
like the way you are looking at me, Red. He just teed me up, man. So
they beat the hell out of you too. Is the other thing. It was just all game long.
Oh yeah, yeah. That guy.
It just
It was like a blind side block or something coming in there. He never called foul against me, or someone hit
yeah,
me. Yeah, I was
yeah.
like, it's nuts, man.
I know it's
Yeah,
not football. But I know. Hey, I know it's not football
like
related. But man, that was fun.
from like 35 there in that gym in Bridgeport, and
Yeah.
and it's like after we graduated, that we used to came back, and then Bridgeport playing Philip Barbour. We were sitting there right across in the front row up there at PB, and we were yelling at that coach the whole time. And Mike's just waving, "Hey, you remember me?" He was hot. He was. I mean, he was livid. I think he went and complained to the athletic director. Hey, I'm being harassed. No, we weren't really. I mean, Mike, he was draining them, man. He was.
I'll never forget that time, man. It was just some great times, man. I
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
let me ask you this, man. Obviously you had a very storied career at Philip Barbour, and I want to kind of this is a good segue into your recruiting process and your college career. Talk. There's a lot of people don't know, Steve, how you were recruited. I mean, Penn State. I mean, Tennessee. I remember you going on those visits.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through those that recruiting journey and what schools you were interested in and ultimately why you chose WVU?
Well, I tell you, it was starting in my I guess around my freshman year. So I was like, let me start to improve going sophomore year. I went to camp at West Virginia. So I went to one of those camps, and it's funny you meet these guys. The summer camps you go through basically fundamentals. It's notepads and everything you learn, and that's how I really got in contact. Because back in the old days, we're still on VHS and beta, tapes. So
The old,
when you
the old
recruit,
reel.
yeah, the reels. So you had to have somebody film that. The camera's really expensive and send it in. And it's not like these days. It's instant. Coaches can get even schools when they trade films. You can send coverage to different schools recruiting you. So it's a whole different thing. There's a lot of word by mouth by press and things like that. So you got good write-ups in newspapers, and his recruiting services were far less extensive than the old days. So did that, but had a couple good seasons, sophomore seasons, started to get recruited by all the other schools. Like I said, Penn State and Tennessee, and Arizona State was a wild card, and Arizona State was one that I thought about going. You remember Mike Booth? Remember Mike? He's my
I remember
like,
Mike through you. Yeah.
yeah, long roommate. We roomed together every year in college, such a
Yeah.
freshman year. And I met Mike in the recruiting process. He was like the big 33 All-American in high school and everything. He went to school at Brashear High School, a major. See, they grew up together. See, a bunch of those Pittsburgh guys. So uh, we went on some recruiting visits. Arizona State was a wild card because at the time I started getting recruited was John Cooper, which he flopped over to Ohio State. And we took a visit out there, even though he left the year before. Like, No. And Cooper, then I started getting recruited by Ohio State, but I'm a Michigan guy, so there's no way when Cooper said, that's not Cooper, yeah, forget it. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
but my mom really liked Joe Pa, at Penn State. And my dad, had respect for him, liked him too. But I think that the key thing is with West Virginia, uh, it's always an honor to play for your home state. West Virginia really wasn't on the board, and until I talked to Coach Nealon, and it's all about Coach Don Nealon, great man. And when he came and talked to me and goes, "Yeah, hey, you see what we've done beginning of the '80s. We're starting to build something, and we want to be a perennial top 10 team." And it's building up. But the funny part about it is that then Miami came in and destroyed them, like was it '86 when Testaverde and destroyed and said, "Hey, coach, I'm kind of worried about this." I remember when I saw Highsmith just about to break Brad Hunt in half there. He was the deep line, and so it was like 56-7 at home. So there were some concerns, but then next season Mays played and everything, and it started moving forward. But Coach Neal comes and sits in your living room and he says, "Hey, we're going to build something. We're going to keep on building something, and I want you to be a part of it." So he's such a good man, and my dad liked him, and mom liked him, and such an honor to be at home, and that's why I chose that. Tennessee is a good visit, but two other guys from Morgantown is Kerry Bailey, who ended up being one of our grad assistants. He was there, and Mark Moore, a guy from Charleston. They had there at the stream, and those guys defensive lineman. I thought I would have played. And at the time, SEC was great. And also I went to LSU down there. It was just too hot, man. I was like, yeah, forget that. Archer, he was leaving too. He left. A lot of these guys were in transition, not like these days. So, yeah, right. West Virginia was a call. Yeah.
Well, and back then too, when you were locked in, right? I mean, pretty much for 4 years, unless you set out a year, right?
Yeah, it's different. You signed that letter of intent's a contract. And still, even today, people don't understand. That's why you have to get releases. People complain about, hey, these kids transfer. You sign a contract, and even up until now, they have to release you. You're locked in. If you want to transfer, you had to even back then you still had to sit out. But if they didn't release you, you could not get a scholarship. So there are rules and regulations. So you're committed. So the thing I like about transfer portal now, the head coach that sits in your living room and promises your family to take care of you, then he hops and leaves. You should be able to leave freely. Now, this whole transfer when these kids just hop school, now what's happening, they roll in during the spring, get some good tape and film and work so they can get some, recommendations and other schools look at them, and then they pop back out. I don't like that. It's a lack of loyalty, and that's especially like WVU. You got Rich, it's a tough job. My understanding was 72 guys that never wore the gold and blue that started this season. And that's a heck of a way to build a program. Back then we had 95 scholarships. Now Division 1A or the FCS football bowl, FBS, the football bowl, series is I think it's 85 at that level. Usually carry 120 guys on the team, but 72 guys, man. You don't know the tradition, you don't know the background of the program. Yeah.
And you're right, Steve. This year, I think they were the fourth highest turnover school. I think Purdue and a couple others were only higher than WVU. But I'll never forget what you told me. I know we were talking when Rich Rod came back, and you told me, and you said, Brian, there's no better man to lead this organization than somebody that grew up in the state, that played at WVU, coached here previously. I'll never forget when you told me that, and I agree with you. I mean, I'm thankful to have him back. He cares, you know.
And I think what we got away from, when Rich first got there, he played for Coach Nealon, and Rich came back. He was a grad assistant, kind of in between that time with Salem. It was when Salem's program got canceled. He came back for that year. And Jed Drenning, Jed used to run the scout team. Remember Jed? He went down to Glenville, and they had that fantastic run when he left for Rich, next year. But Jed's another guy, man. He's a funny guy, man. He was a good guy.
Jed's a good dude.
Yeah.
Good dude. Yeah, he's doing good things.
I think
Hey,
Rich will
Steve.
do well. Yeah.
I do too. I'm excited about the future. He's got those guys believing and doing what they need to do. What was your share a favorite moment from your time when you were a WVU Mountaineer playing?
We had a lot of great times. I tell you, I remember we played, I can't remember, was it 90, 92? I think it was the last time we played It's one of the last times I played Penn State. Well, let me start earlier. I remember my freshman year. The question was I going to redshirt or not? And honestly, I came in, 2 days is tough. And the reality is the speed of the game is a lot faster. Everybody there, a lot of guys played in state championships, high level teams and everything. And, a small place like West Virginia, you have to get a feel of how competitive you are. Yeah. And I think in the first few weeks, I didn't do well. I'll tell you what, Coach Mayle, now, I had a good relationship with him because he kind of talked to me a lot. A lot of times you forget in big programs, you have your defensive coach. My coach was Coach Robinson and Coach Galavich. Robinson left. You spend more time with your position coach because you have specific team position meetings, and we have big team meetings, and we may have defensive meetings. You spend more time with that. So Coach Neal was more the offensive guy, and they practiced on their own side of the field until we had the team stuff like team pass and the team run. We called it team smash, because it was all smash.
Yeah.
But I remember he said, "Hey, Steve, I like the way you practice." Because the question was, "What am I going to play as a true freshman?" So it was like during 2 days, 6 a.m. Man, hey, I want you in my office. So I had to come for practice. We had this whole, yeah, man. He was sitting there, and but he's an early guy, so it was like 5 o'clock, man, and sitting there, and but we were watching film, and he was teaching me now, and the first thing that ever occurred to me is talking that. Now, Steve, he goes, at the next level, you won't be able to do this. Some teachers this, and that. So he thought it has aspirations, and or was good enough to play next level. So we started talking that, but it was great because at that time we had remember Ronaldo Turnbull, hell of a guy,
Yes.
He's a hell of a pass rusher. Virgin Islands. He played 10 for the Saints, and then another couple
Saints.
too.
Bull.
Bull was a man, and then Mike Fox.
Yep.
Remember he played with the Giants, and
For years.
he was on that line. So it was great. A couple of guys got hurt, and by the fourth or fifth game, it was like because I traveled a couple, and the question was to play. Now, if I'd done all over again since I got hurt, I would have waved that red shirt, because he called my old man and he goes, "Hey," he goes, "Dr. Red," he goes, "You don't mind if we go ahead and play him?" So we decided not to, but it would have been great to do that. And
I know.
But some of the memories, like you said, we played in Rutgers in the Giants team in '90. I remember we went up there and we were practicing for the game, and Foxy came out, and Lawrence Taylor, LT, and the Giants, Harry Carson, all those guys. Because I think that's when they won the other Super Bowl, like in the next, in '91, because they won '87 and '91 in that season. But it was cool to be in the Meadowlands and Giant Stadium and see all the Giants, and yeah, man, it was fantastic.
I'm going to brag on you for a minute because you won't do it. But I was at that game in Rutgers when you played, and you had a hell of a ball game. Hell of a ball game. I mean, I can't
that was a rainy game, wasn't it?
Yes, and I'll never forget. I mean, we were sitting there just cheering as loud as we could for you, and I just remember you had a hell of a ball game. I said, "That's my guy right there." And
yeah, man, it was a fun time. I mean, there were a lot of good times, traveling, and I think people forget, you know, it was a different time. You spent more time. Monday night. And remember the film process and how schools had these deals to trade films. They had to send hard copies and courier and everything. Now it's instant digital and the programs and break down everything. So the scouting report, like, so the way it worked, Monday night would be a scouting report, and you had the scouting report, and we just run through. Tuesday and Wednesday were all smash, hit, running the other teams things, with the scout teams and everything else. And Thursday was just thud, and then Friday or late Thursday night we would fly out and just do walkthrough. Then Saturday play and fly back Saturday, and usually Sunday we'd have a team meeting. We'd come over there, and the young guys, who you don't know, the guys that didn't travel, they usually lifted on Friday and then lifted on Sunday. That's how you build a program. Your young guys that aren't playing, they're in the weight room doing agility and stretching and things like that and lifting and build a program. So, and that's important to move on. And all these big schools are like that. So,
Steve, let me ask you this, and I've wondered this not too long ago. Do you still have the weightlifting record up there for at the WVU? I think it was deadlift, maybe.
no, bench. I think so. We kind of at that time, it's kind of funny. I'll tell the story. I think it's me and Lorenzo Styles. I think the old record was like 5:35, and the guy, good guy. And I've talked to him online. Duffield, I think he's up there, and he played with Josiak and those guys.
Yeah.
Styles is another guy. We talk about those guys, the great team leaders, the older guys that
Yes.
come back and keep it straight. Brian Josiak, hell of a guy. He's done the golf tournament and always supports Children's Hospital. And make sure you support that WVU Children's Hospital. It's
Yes.
integral to the state and to the people there and to the kids. And
100%.
it was, I think I did 550, and at that time we kind of stopped doing the single reps. So we were going, hey, let's go ahead and do it. Let me break it. Then it kept going. See, they made it stop. At some point, it's not bench press competition, so we did that. So as far as I know, I think I still got it, but they got a lot of strong kids these days, man. These kids and techniques and things. It was just, oh yeah.
It was amazing to see your transformation. I know we were still together and did some things when you had free time, which is not very often. You'd come around when you had time and see everybody. But I mean, just your body transformation from the time you were in high school to your sophomore year in college, man, it was just unbelievable. And that speaks volumes to the strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, at the time it was Al Johnson left and Al came back. Al's all time great. He went and he's the one that turned, like, remember the Baltimore Orioles had a record loss thing, and he brought strength coach in. And, a lot of baseball teams weren't doing that then, and that's when they had the big turnaround. Yeah, Al's a good guy, and Jim Hopkins, and it's great. And Mickey Marotti is actually, now Mick was our assistant strength coach. He was there for a couple of years, and he's worked his way through Notre Dame. He's actually the head strength and assistant athletic director of Ohio State. I think he's been there the last 7-8 years. And you see how they built that program up. So, yeah.
Some good guys, man, doing it the right way for sure.
But it was, but the strength and conditioning, like you said, it was hard work, and you had to do it. And it's about commitment to everybody on the team and the program. But people don't see, we come in, after Christmas, and it's really, and they've changed. It's back 2 days. We would go over like 6 early in the morning. You'd lift, and you go to class and everything. And then when spring ball started, we lift in the morning. Then we hit. Back in those days, we'd hit for 30 straight days. It's like we had the shirts. I hit for 30. It was nothing but pin your head back and go smash, smash, smash. So it used to be probably like 45 days in spring. So it was like 2 days in spring. Now I think contact's limited to like 10 days or something like that. But yeah, it's a full-time job. You lift and run, and you got in shape, and yeah.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And I think that's another great segue into this last section I want to talk to you about, Steve. Is like, what do you think of the program that Coach Mayle's built there at Philip Barbour? I'll tell you a lot of it has been, these guys are committed to the weight room, and they're committed to a year-round process, and that's the difference. I wanted to get your thought.
Yeah, and I think that's important. I'm impressed. I look at the videos and the pictures. He's got these guys in the off season, and I think that's what we lacked, and a lot of schools lack. Like we were talking before, Cameron. These nowadays kids specialize in one sport, and they go away to the camps and specific. Like we used to play all the sports, baseball, football, basketball. A lot of coaches still tell you in college level it's good to be versatile. You got your linemen that have to have good feet and everything, and it's good to be versatile, all-around athlete. But I think you're right. He has built. I think Coach Mayle has done a tremendous job, and the coaching staff and Marcus and all those guys. They have the program and have got everybody going in one direction as a team, unity, a brotherhood, and that's important. If you can stick together, you guys lift together, you run together in off season, it builds cohesion. And you'll see the best programs do that. And we saw those great high school programs throughout the years, different parts of the state do that. Like when we talk about Double A, and I have to mention, I used to go to the playoffs all the time with my uncle. He was there in Charleston, starting when we were like 9 or 10 years old. Go to Laidley all the time, Thanksgiving break, because my grandma was down there. Double A, Sarita Canova, CK all the way. They won 10 or 11, Sistersville, all these programs, cohesion. Strength programs and working together. Even AAA was Brooke, and back at the time Stonewall Jackson. So he's got them going in a fantastic right direction. I see the kids, I watch the videos, see them flying around, hustling to the ball. Even when there's a mistake made, they shake it off and get their head back right and keep on moving forward. he's gotten focused and on getting better and better each day. And that's the most important. That's what I see, and that's what I get when I see him play and when I see him speak and I see him giving positive feedback to the kids. And he emphasizes being a good part of the community and understanding, loving Barbour County and loving the people there and treating it well. And always remember where you came from and love your home and respect it. And that's why, I may have traveled all over the world, put my boots on six different continents. So I made it Antarctica, working on that one. But hey, I'm still just a kid from Philippi, man. That's it.
I know,
And
man.
I love Philippi, and my parents loved it, and loved the people there. And it was a tremendous time there. And loved Philip Barbour High School.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you, man, like how proud are you to see these guys making history, man? They're in the semifinals. They play tomorrow for a chance to go for championship game.
It's great and getting to play Bluefield. It's been that growing excitement. The last couple of years you kept building. Hey, you get the first round, second round, semifinals is great. West Virginia high school football. Now, see, I call my friends. Hey, my school's in the semifinals. I used to
Yeah,
get all these guys from Charleston, Brooke and stuff. Like, yeah, man, Philip Barbour. Remember that name? And
okay,
it was in West Virginia. All the guys from Florida, everybody knew. Hey, that's Steve Red from Philippi. Period.
that's
It's
right.
Philip Barbour. Yeah, everybody knew that name and knew that high school. And it started when you lined up and you blasted somebody in the mouth, so they'll never forget that. Like Hicks taught you, how do we win? Hit. And the Coach Hicks, man, he was a heck of an influence on me there, man. He was the guy that taught me defense and taught me a lot of good techniques and working hard. And flashback, man. And I'll say that. And I have to say this. You asked about the weightlifting record, and I was close before, and then I came home that summer, and God rest his soul, Mike Moore. Mike was such a great guy, and he worked at the workout, and then he did help coach and strength. So I got with Mike, and he was always, even before he helped me lifting technique. It's all about good technique and to be able to move the weights and do proper form. That's how you train, and that's what Mike did. And Mike was such a great guy, and I have to shout out to his great wife, Debbie, and it was
Yeah,
tragic to lose him last year.
I
A
know.
fantastic guy, and he meant so much to Barbour County. Love that bass fishing, man. Yeah,
He did.
what,
He
what a
did,
great
man.
guy.
He
So if it
did.
wasn't for a lot of lifting, if it wasn't for Mike Moore, I wouldn't have got that record. That's what I'm saying. He's a great guy. We trained together before in high school with him. So yeah,
Hey,
he meant a lot to me. He's a fantastic guy.
you said it a few minutes ago, man. All roads lead back home, brother. At the end of the day, they all come back
Yeah.
home. You know what I mean? So it's just like you and I. We haven't
And
we
I
haven't
want to make
we
sure
haven't seen
everybody
each other.
support. I see great support for this team. Make sure everybody keeps go to Blue.
Yeah, it's like you and I were
Bring it on.
talking. We haven't seen each other for a while, but it's like I literally can pick
Yeah,
up
yeah,
like we talked yesterday. You know what I mean? And that's just because we grew up
yeah.
together. We care about one another, and it's just that way with all of us. Let me two more questions, man. What advice would you give to these Philip Barbour Colts players that are literally traveling on a bus right now down to Bluefield? They're going to stay all night down there tonight and get ready for this game tomorrow. What kind of advice would you give to them, as they prepare for Bluefield?
I'd say focus. Remember this: you played good. You played great all season, and you're trying to improve each game. Playoff football is a different animal. It's going to be maybe a bigger crowd, different environment, and you're going to be there. But things may happen that don't go your way early, or if you get up, don't get complacent and let them come back. Keep focusing, listen to coach, and understand how to make corrections. And that's the biggest thing when you learn in football. As the game goes on, sometimes you have to make corrections, and coaches do that. Whether it's certain schemes or just how you approach your attitude. You get down. Uh, it's time to focus to get back into it. So the most important thing is believe in your teammates, keep everybody up, and be positive. It's your game to win. It's your game to lose, and remember what you did well this year, and keep on moving forward. But most importantly, I'd say for the defense guys, hit, secure, strip, and offense guys, make sure you block and keep running the ball. Get downfield and protect your quarterback, and keep going. Hey, sometimes you drop the ball. You have to have a memory like a goldfish. Forget in 3 seconds. get back, line up, and keep going.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. For me personally, it's been a blessing and it's been a blast to be able to call these games with Jeff and over the last 3 years now. We're having a ball doing it. We've seen this program take leaps and bounds of success, and we're going to call history tomorrow. And Steve, I can't thank you enough, man, for doing this. I wanted you to be able to give a message. You're one of the best that's ever played at Philip Barbour. And I put you right up there. You got to be top three if you're not the best. Leroy Jackson, Scotty Mayle, Paul. There's some guys that played some ball and could play professionally.
That's why I forget Ronnie and JJ. I mean, there's some good kids here. Yeah,
Ronnie, JJ. The list goes on, man.
Yeah, a lot of good kids. Yeah.
But thank you. I want you.
Don't forget great leaders. That's why I put this with the Love Like Keaton up. It's such a good kid and tragic. I never had the pleasure of meeting him, but great family, and he was a great team leader, and he inspired the community. So make sure you keep supporting the foundation there.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate it, man. I want to give you last word, man. Anything you'd like to say back home? And before you do that, I want you to do me a favor and tell Paul we said hello. We're thinking about you guys, man.
Okay? Or give him a punch in his nose there like I did yesterday.
Yeah. Hey, we love you guys, man. It's just we're family, So
we love you too, man. It's been an honor to be here, man. You can tell we're getting old, man. It's been more than 40-some years. I hit the double nickel here last week, man. So moving on.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It just having this conversation with you just brings me back all these great memories, man.
Yeah, fantastic memories.
And honestly, Steve, that's what I've told these boys when I do get a chance to talk to them. I always say, when you're my age, when you're 53, 54, 55 years old, these are the memories that you're going to have and you'll be able to talk about and think about what you guys are building right now to be able to have this conversation down the road.
Lifetime memories. The guys beside you, I still remember the times that we're practicing in that old locker room with Philip Barbour, man. We didn't have much. We lifted in there, and then the water, the sewer backed up and all that. But we still went out. We had a good time and played together. Todd Stonecker, George McCauley. Teeth, the Brown Hornet. Remember Brown Kennedy, Brown Hornet?
Still see Brian.
Travis Taylor. There's so many great guys that we played with, man. Hey, don't forget Collins and CD.
Absolutely.
It was John Sensel. Yeah, we had a great time, man. It was great.
Some of the best dudes you'd ever be around.
Oh yeah, and we took you taking those long bus rides on the rickety bus and everything, and you enjoyed the company of the guys. And hey, even when you lose, as long as you give 100%, we kept on going. I think we started building from that whole legacy of Philip Barbour's not that good. And we, especially on defense, we always brought it. And anytime we can bring it to Buckhannon, and I couldn't stand Buckhannon. And that's another thing I forgot to mention, how we got ripped off my senior year. And you can still you see it on the film. We blocked a punt, and people don't know. The kid, I remember the kid, Eric Fluke. He takes it 4 steps out of bounds. You can see him, and George dives, and he's on the line. I'm over on the line, and we got a penalty earlier for hitting 15 yards. Someone's in bounds. Oh, this thing is out of bounds. You can see it on the old film. It's funny, their old coach, Mike Michaels, he was a West Virginia guy. He played West Virginia. I said, man, you ripped us off like 5 years. He ripped us off. Yeah, we got you on that one. You're like rank number 1. I was so mad. I was mad as hell, man. But, yeah. So,
never fails, man. Never fails. That's like you said, there's the memories that you think of, right? And
absolutely.
That's been 40 years ago,
Don't remind me, man.
Hey, I'm gonna shut up before I do the outro here, but seriously, okay. Steve, one last opportunity for you to, if you want to make a comment to the guys, the team, whatever you like to do. The floor is yours.
Well, first, thank you for having me on, man. It's an honor to be a part of this and just be a part of this historic Philip Barbour season. 10 wins, fantastic. These kids are definitely made the county proud. And everybody in the state's looking at them. Good, positive direction. Mayle has done a tremendous job. I'm proud of all of them. I'm proud to be a Philip Barbour Colt. Haven't been there for a while, but hey, once a Colt, always a Colt. Today, tomorrow, forever. What I want to say is the community no matter what happens, win, lose, or draw, stay supportive to the team. Proud, I'm proud of what you've done, and you've honored all us old guys by keep moving forward, getting better and better, and bringing respect back to the program, and makes us old guys feel good. And tremendously proud of each and every one of you, what you've done, and thank you very much. And can't wait to see you play in the state championship. Let's
Absolutely.
go beat Bluefield first.
Heck yeah, let's get the job done. Steve, we appreciate it, man. That's going to wrap up the special edition of the Colts Corral. Huge thanks to Steve Redd for sharing his incredible journey and wisdom with us, and just quite frankly, for me personally, it's just great to catch up with an old friend, man.
Man, great to see you. Love you, man. And
Love you
we
too.
won't make it so long this time, man. And I'll be listening to you guys on Saturday, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the big win.
We're going to bring it, Steve. You know I'm going to bring the heat, man. Don't miss the Colts in the Class AA semifinals this Saturday at 4 o'clock in Bluefield. We're probably going to go on air live at 3:40. That's what the goal will be, on live, 98.9 FM locally. I would tell you to tune in, and as Steve knows, you can get on the app, the WVRC Media app, go all the way down to the bottom, click on the
live from Atlanta, Georgia, baby.
I'm telling you, man, Steve, I get people text me from all over. I got guys in Alaska, California, Florida, you in Atlanta. They're all over. You know, Dave, our buddy Dave Wade down in Tampa, man.
Florida, yeah. You heard me on the live stream a couple years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah. So it's awesome to have all the, and that's what I say, guys. This team, there's people supporting you all over the country, not just in Barbour County, man. So that being said, tune in. Steve, thank you, brother. Thank you. We're going to catch up soon, and for that, appreciate you. You've been listening to or watching the Colts Corral. Steve, last
best of luck, Colts. Best of luck, Coach Mayle, and thanks a lot, Brian. It's been an honor. Take care.